Okay, so since everybody else has apparently gone hiking, I shall take all of your stuff, however much is left, before talking to the people down there, and then see how these idiots managed to get themselves fucking... You are set as a delegate. Your first idea is to piss off your host with some nonsense chanting. Yeah, that's going to work well. Not at all deadly.
Yes.
Or bad, or, you know. Of course not. Of bloody course not. Hi, Noah. Hi to low, yes. Potions. And the other one. Where is the other one? Where did I put you? Where did I put you? Not major recovery, is it? Oh, it's regeneration. Don't I have any big regeneration ones? That's kind of surprising, actually. All things considered. Well then.
You gotta see this.
Oh, we found something. Nice. Oh, thank you. I thought we'd never get out of there. So what happened? Things started off well enough. The commander was even polite. One of the delegates pointed an accusing finger at another, a woman standing apart from the rest. Might have come to terms if she hadn't goaded him, shouting at him about omens and curses, demanding he leaves the marches. You know how superstitious the Red Serents are? The commander went white as a sheet. She sabotaged the meeting. The person was dressed in an unassuming robe. She was the accuser silently, eyes closed as if in prayer. Care to explain yourself, woman? With desperate speed, the woman suddenly lunges sidelong towards a nearby wreck. Seizes a dagger lying there. She hits the blade to her own throat. That's not going to work. I'm a fucking watcher. Unseen to all but yourself, the dying woman's soul descends, coils in thin wisp about her body. It only grows brighter as the corpse stills. The remaining delegates stare in horror as her pooling blood. Manaya kneels by the dying woman and inspects her robes. She examines a crescent medallion hanging around the woman's neck. What just happened? I have not the single most obvious clue about it, but I will get one. Damn it, I will never get an answer out of her. Well, we will. I shall read your soul now. You reach out and brace against the sudden flare of pain and fear, digging after less recent events. There is a copper taste in your mouth, and the pain like fire in your throat. Under the brute terror of death, you find a comforting thread of resolve, of satisfaction, and duty fulfilled. You follow it. It leads you stumbling into another memory, as whole and vivid as the first. You walk the dark halls of an abbey, dimly lit and quiet, your footsteps loud. A blur, and you are standing in a dimly lit room, facing a robed Aumua. You recognize him as Kaoto, the High Abbot, beckons you forward. Examine your surroundings. You are in a wide, rounded chamber. The tiles beneath your feet are covered in strange, curling symbols. You recognize them as symbols of Ondra, goddess of sea and memory. The memory blurs. On your side is clear. You're standing in front of Kaoto, and he's smiling gently down towards you.
Drive the raid Serens from these mountains, and you may yet spare many lives. The Tidebringer will be here in a week's time. Should you be delayed in your travels, report to him as you would to me. He will enter the reliquary and call off the army of Ilas in my stead. If you are caught, sister, you know what you must do. I will pray for your return, but we will take comfort in the knowledge that you have joined the rest of Ondra's favorite in her keeping.
The words jar you loose from the memory, bringing you back into the moment of the woman's death, and then into your own skin. But traces of her memory join yours. You know the path to the abbey to which she was to return, buried in the mountains to the north. Is the name Ilas familiar to anyone? The Ilas. They're a figure of speech for when you can't remember something. You say it must be the Ilas took it from me. Yes, but there's a story to it. They're supposed to do the bidding of the Lady of Lament. Ondra points and they come. Out of nowhere, like things from the face of the world. That's why whenever something up and goes missing, or gets destroyed with no one there to see it, you're supposed to thank Honor that the eyeless didn't come for you too. Do you know a Kauto? Koto? Oh yes. Came to town some time back, stopped by at the temple in Stalwart. It was just after the town decided to eradicate it to Abiton. He didn't seem too pleased about it, he was just like a priest. Maybe he took offense. He's an Amur, tall fellow, very polite considering he's apparently the leader of some fanatical sect. It's clear we haven't been the best judges of characters recently. But then you knew what a Tidebringer is. Tidebringer? It's something they used to talk about at the Temple of Undra, I think. It's a person, a title, I mean. Tends to be used in the more devout circles. And we already talked about the eyeless. Anything about an abbey to the north? I've heard of something like that. An Undrite stronghold. But a kind of place that welcomes visitors. Ania's eyes widen. That sounds like the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. Is that where she came from? Apparently these Undrites have an army too. Wait, another one? God, it feels like everyone on Aurora is after the battery now. Why would these Undrites want the Red Sirens out? Opted for Starboard's benefit. Competition, maybe. Well, I'll better go ask him then. If you do mean to go to this abbey, be careful. There have been stories about traders wandering north and getting scared off or even killed by strange guards. This place alright. A secretive bunch. I suppose you could always try to sneak in. I doubt you'll be welcome otherwise. Like this Tidebringer would be. Welcome, I mean. Maybe I can convince them I'm the one they've been waiting for. I hope so. Imagine the abbey is heavily guarded. What the fuck? A sudden, deafening crash from outside makes the delegate jump, startled. A rumbling like thunder follows. You hear further sounds of smashing timbers, panicked screaming. What's happening? I thought you took care of the soldiers. I did, indeed. This is something else. Yes, well, we'll wait here, inside. What the fuck is going on? Who has set my cannons to fire? I would very much like to know that, because those are my cannons and without my direct order I don't want anyone firing my cannons. They really, really don't. Come on. Show me what has happened. What the literal fucking shit? Well, that doesn't look pleasing. Like at all.
This is animancy. Or something far fouler.
Probably something far fouler, honestly.
If not.
Those skills are really fucking annoying that they have. I don't give them that much. Doesn't really make me feel all pleased and warm inside. Punch the shit out of him. I had forgotten just how bloody fucking horrible those things look up close. I guess there really is no time to, you know, keep things down below. Instead, it is time to go all out. The big spells. Yeah, but better not starting with that one. Yeah, that's not. That is going to end up feeling somewhat horrible. Badly injured. Insect swarms, deep wounds, and he's so we can stun them. I mean, that's a good sign. If nothing else, that at least is something I'm very much grateful for, because I think we will have to deal with a few more of those fucking eyelets creatures. And let me be very honest with you, this doesn't sound like a fucking bad time to you. You will have a lot to learn. Come on. Okay. 2 dead.
Uh-huh.
The last make folk falls. The tide of essence sweeps through the ether. Pushes over you. You find yourself in memories of the eyeless. The hulking creatures around you. Their sinew-wrapped skeletons, clanking and screeching in the semi-darkness. The bodies fill the air with the tang of metal, the musk of sweat. The cavern in which you stand, looks like a cavern anyway, glows with a dim, ambient light. Steel flashes as the eyeless shift and steer. They stamp their feet and groan in rasping, metallic voices. Their restless energy prickles at the back of your neck. In the echoing rumble, you hear something familiar. It's the pounding noise from your dream, the harbinger of a terrible army. You begin to wonder how many eyeless are crowded around you. You suspect there must be a score of them. Maybe more. It's difficult to tell how far back this chamber goes, or where it is. Ahead you see a glint of light. It might be an exit. Already, however, the vision is starting to fade. Explore further into the chamber. Push past the lumbering eyeless and cling to the wilting shreds of the vision. The cavern that's before you is filled with echoes until you hear the growling, grinding sounds of the eyeless all around. Pull yourself onto a glowing crystalline outcropping. It's a wide expanse, blunt heads, and piston arms. There aren't scores of them. There are hundreds. Vision ends, turning you to the frozen and blood-churned mud of the fort. Edric appears to have taken some blows. There's a purpling bruise along his temple, and his armor is dented in several places. He looks rather dazed.
Those things, they came from all sides. The delegate... No, you were right. The visions are true.
Edric looks you over.
You fought well. And I am glad to see you've come through in one piece, even if I regret the loss of my men.
Well, there ain't much left.
I'll take what's left of our forces. Those that will follow me further up the mountain. We should be prepared when those monsters return.
You know, maybe we should actually try and get our armies together.
I have seen already that there is little you can't accomplish.
Edric bows his head and turns to the road. Well, you go ahead then. I'll be back.
You don't mess around when you make enemies, do you?
These
Sadly not.
abominations stink of a god's cowardice.
You don't say, yeah. If that is not the work of a fucking god, I'm surely disappointed.
I guess